John, what are your thoughts?
Here we go. Is Robinson Cano on there?
No, not a shot.
Schwallie, no. I kid you not.
Wait, he didn't even finish his story.
Yeah. Oh, my bad, bro.
We got Saajan.
Home on the road at the Cowboys, John.
Did you just say leave home on the road?
Alright, back here, bro.
What about you, Drew? What do you think?
0-2. Whoa.
Ballin' crazy with the HangTime.
Today we welcome Saajan May to the HangTime Headlines podcast. Saajan is a pitcher for the Columbia baseball team entering his junior year.
Yep.
Big year. How you doing, Saj?
Doing pretty well. Happy to be here.
As you can hear, this isn't, an over-the-phone interview. Saj flew all the way out here.
Yeah, I'm out here in Desert Hot Springs.
From Massachusetts, baby.
Yeah.
The homeland.
Yes, sir. The motherland.
So, Saj and all of us go, a little far back. We've all hung around a little bit, played some baseball back in the day. Kid has a tremendous work ethic. I mean, we were waking up at 5 a.m. and hitting baseballs throughout high school. The kid just grinds every day. Saj, can you tell us a little bit about, what you do on a daily basis and how coronavirus has impacted your training?
Corona's kind of made it difficult. A lot of the gyms have been shut down. Fields have been closed off by public parks people. And, yeah, so it's been tough for people to get their work in, but it's literally if it's just a little bit of an hour of yoga or waking up early to do some wind sprints, you just got to get your work in.
True, bro.
Wind sprints.
Yeah, no, not fun. As a pitcher, I don't even need to do them.
All right, so to get to know you a little bit in your playing career, what's your best game ever?
My senior year, I was slated to start against them one day, and we played on their JV field, and it was this little mosquito bite bump of a mound where it was pretty much on the same plane as home plate. So I was throwing a flat ground for pretty much my entire outing, but I was able to throw a no-hitter. I was one walk away from a perfect game too.
Big moves.
Yeah, so they like to bunt, this Bedford team. Yes, and that's how they'd win. Their coach would have their worst players bunt, or literally he would just teach them how to foul off every single pitch.
I remember
So
that.
eventually they would get walked. And I told my catcher that day, I was like, okay, if this team squares to bunt, I'm gonna throw behind the guy on the next pitch. You're just gonna throw down some whatever signs you want, but it's gonna be a fastball behind this kid's back. And the second inning. No, it wasn't the second. It was the fifth inning because it's a 7-inning game. It was towards the end of the game. I was like, no one has bunted yet. This is lit. And then a guy squares a bunt. I was like, fuck, I got to throw the ball behind him now. So literally, I just wound up and threw it 3 feet behind his back.
Was it ball 4?
No, that was 1-0. But then I was like, all right, all right, time to buckle down, hit the strike zone, and I couldn't hit the strike zone. So I walked him.
Kid threw you off your game.
He
dude,
did.
With that little bunt.
Mental warfare, right? That's how they would win too.
Yeah.
Every single game, because they would just piss you off, and then you would make a mistake.
Did Doc make a mound visit? Did he consider pulling you at any point?
He never considered pulling me.
Thank God.
We were always skill-wise better than them, but for some reason, Schwallie, Drew, you guys can attest to this. They always found a way to win. It was really annoying.
We probably lost to Bedford because our coach was about 75 years old. He didn't know what was going on.
He coached for Weston for 3 or 4 years. Hopefully he's not listening. If you are, what's up, Doc? Hope you're doing well.
He's coaching
but this man was just slowly losing his mind. You could just tell. You could just see oh man. Dude, you just couldn't keep track of the signs anymore. He was forgetting names. He was forgetting what position you play. It was so bizarre.
He's not listening. I don't think he's got Instagram. So we're chilling on that front.
So do you have a favorite player in the MLB right now?
Max Scherzer, just his intensity. He's always got this dude is laser focused, but he just pitches pissed off, which I love. But he's able to also keep that in control and absolutely dot 97-mile-an-hour sinkers on the black, and then these wipeout changeups and 6 sliders, and that's my mix of pitches too.
Yeah.
So I love seeing his intensity and trying to bring that and model my craft after his.
I've seen a few videos of Max Scherzer where it's they're just reading his mouth behind his glove when he's on the mound.
He's literally taking time.
And he's like, I'm gonna kill you, you fucking bitch. Before he throws the pitch, and you're like, dude, it's just a game. Calm down. But it's so sick, dude. To see that.
It's crazy.
And then he's the best pitcher in the game. So makes it even better.
Saj, can you believe the Detroit Tigers had Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, and David Price and couldn't do anything with that?
And then they had the best
Anibal
hitter.
Sanchez was pretty good too.
They had the best hitter in the game.
Yeah.
Like,
They had the best hitter in the game at the time, Miguel Cabrera.
Won a triple crown.
Prince Fielder, who was still kind of good, honestly.
They had Prince Fielder.
Remember that?
My
Remember the
Lord.
ALCS in 2013?
I forgot they had Prince, dude.
Dude, I
miss
was
Prince.
I was at both games that Scherzer pitched during that ALCS. Like I saw Victorino hit that grand slam to
Really?
tie it up. I saw Ortiz hit the home run.
I was at the one where we almost got a no hit, and then I think it was Daniel Nava maybe broke up the no hitter with like 2 outs in the 8th or in the 9th inning or something like that.
Daniel Nava, like I feel like he as a player kind of disappointed me.
Oh yeah.
Wait, do you remember do you remember his first at bat?
Yeah.
The grand slam, first pitch. I was like, holy shit, this dude's gonna be a stud.
Yeah.
so, Saj, while we're on the topic, baseball has recently announced, or the owners have announced, that they are going to play 60 games. Are you excited? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm excited for baseball to be back. Kinda didn't like the fact that like the commissioner had to kind of just impose this 60 games on them. I wish they kind of could have just came to an agreement before, but I guess that's just. I mean,
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? There's nothing. I mean, the players wanted something, the owners couldn't give it to them, and it was just a back and forth for a little bit longer than I would have liked.
I mean, I just don't. I don't know how baseball would survive if they didn't have a season.
I'm with you. They wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think that's why they mandated it. I think that's why Manfred was literally just like, yeah, we have to come back. Otherwise,
Yeah.
like,
There's
Nobody's
no way.
gonna want baseball.
exactly.
Back,
After like a full year off, unfortunately, like there are some people that are still loyal, but the numbers are just going to be so far
I
down.
still love
if they didn't
baseball.
play this season this year.
It's got to be changed though. It's not. It's just not fun anymore.
So, on to your point, Drew, on how it has to be changed. There's been a couple new rules that have been implemented to this new season, one of which is that in extra innings, they're going to start with a runner on second. Every single time, both teams. Which is pretty interesting rule. So before I swing to you, John, as someone who just doesn't give two poops about the sport, would this make your interest go any higher if you knew in extra innings that there was going to be a runner on second and that like each team was probably going to score and there might be a little more back and forth?
Well, Schwallie, that was the first I actually heard about it, and I actually just raised my eyebrow because that does sound kind of interesting. Like, it sounds like it could be, I don't know.
Yeah, John.
It could get the game over faster, and it could make for more exciting overtime.
Yeah, John.
Or extra inning.
Yeah, I 100% agree because, I mean, even like when we played travel ball, remember like in extra innings they would do that and it would speed the game up like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not going to be playing like in those deep extra inning games where they're going like 18, 19 innings without scoring a run.
Nobody wants to watch that.
No, exactly. It just gets really redundant and like, yeah, there's like the slim chance that like someone just goes yard or it's a home run or like something happens, but like it's still pretty slim if they haven't been scoring already.
Yeah.
Drew, you like the new rule?
It's the first I've heard of it. Personally, I don't really know how big of a fan I am of it. I think I see what you mean. It speeds up the game and whatnot, but I think putting a runner in scoring position right away is bad.
To your point, Drew, I think it's a bad way to fix a problem, but it kind of seems like they're making an effort to do so.
Yes.
It does. It doesn't seem like it's the correct way to fix the problem with baseball right now.
It's an effort, but it's like, why on earth is this the best idea that the MLB could come up with? So 2 of my questions are, well, first of all, what does this do statistics-wise? If you're a pitcher and you come in extra innings with that runner automatically on second and he scores, does that hurt your ERA? Is that an earned run against you?
Here's a question, Drew. What if you're pitching a perfect game and it goes into the 10th inning and there's a runner's on second and there are 2 sac flies, the guy gets hit in, so you threw a perfect game, but you lost.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
that's craziness.
So then the other thing that I want to say is that what I think would make it better is that what if they did something so this can do the same thing, but I think improve it a little bit. So what if you had them put a runner on first base, and so they're not in scoring position, and you can choose which runner goes on first base, one of your bench guys, And so then it would create a really, honestly, like a position, a role on the bench for a super speedy guy who's going to come in extra innings and go on first base. And now you've got to watch out for him stealing second potentially. Or, it's not like an easy run. He's not on second. It's not, because runner on second, no outs is like, you're going to score most of the time. And I think putting a runner on first with the stolen base threat, it would become more exciting than just putting a runner on second. And I think it's a little more fair.
So, Drew, I have a question. I think, personally, either way, it can't be an earned run to the pitcher if the runner starts the inning, because that's, like, just the rules of the game. Like, that's not the pitcher's fault.
Yeah.
That's just how it happens. So I don't like that. The other issue I have that neither of you have talked about, which I'm kind of surprised about, is if a runner starts on second, in extra innings every single time, that means the first batter is going to intentionally walk. Right?
Why?
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's first and second every single time.
In most scenarios, yeah.
Wait, why is that?
Because to set up the double play, I would want to do that immediately.
You want to get force outs. You want to, all of a sudden, if they bunt, it's not a runner on third. If you can get the out at third, you want to just completely change the game in that way.
Yeah, I would intentionally walk right away.
So that's
I
going
mean,
to
that obviously depends on
but-
who's up next
Yeah,
and
but-
whatnot, but in most scenarios, I'm intentionally walking.
Exactly.
That depends on the lineup too, because if you turn a double play and it's like, and now you have a runner on third with 2 outs, like, what are you gonna do? Bring the outfield in? Like,
That is exponentially better than a ground ball to the right side with a runner on second and a runner on third with 1 out.
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know, it's a weird change. I mean, I do like that they're doing something, but
That's the main thing.
I don't think it's going to go over well.
That's the main thing, Drew, for me. It's about the effort.
Yeah.
It's like they're finally taking some initiative to do something.
Also, I can see it being way more accepted by people like John and whatnot who are not really like big fans of the MLB versus like it'll piss me off a little bit, but like it won't deter me from watching baseball, I think. But it could bring fans in.
So another rule, change that we've talked about a little bit, me and Saj, it's been an ongoing feud between us, right? And we found a little middle ground that we're both okay with. But my big issue with baseball has been the time. And I thought, you know what we should do? 2 balls, you walk. 1 strike, you're out. Let's move everything up. There's instant action every time. Innings are flying by. You're cutting down the time. Stuff's happening all the time. It would take away all the boredom. Now, a lot of people don't like that. I think we settled.
For the record, let it be known that I am 100% against that.
I hate this idea.
I think we settled
Thank
on a
you.
nice little medium that isn't as harsh. Would be like 2 strikes and you're out, and 3 balls is a walk.
Wait, no, hold on. John just said he wasn't interested, and that's a rule that would piss off people who are like the goal is to find a rule that brings together the people who are traditionalists of the game, who really like baseball in its natural state, and the people like John who want to see something different about the game, but are still interested.
So, Saj, if you would have let me finish my sentence, I would have continued explaining that we have found a nice middle ground here, as I was in the midst of saying, with 3 balls as a walk and 2 strikes as a strikeout, which I think we've all kind of commonly agreed on, would make the game speed up a little bit, would give there a little more action, would erase a lot of the statistics that everyone's been relying on, so it's not just like a nerd game anymore, now the managers have some say, would speed things up a little bit and do some good things. So what are your thoughts on that?
I still
don't
don't
think
see
that.
your point with the nerd stuff. I don't think it'll have any impact on that, whatever. That I just need to make that known,
not
because
the
I still
nerd.
think that
It's
point
just
is
traditionalists.
stupid. But
Who are
everything else, I'm fine with what you said.
Yeah, no.
I'll accept that, Drew.
I think it's a traditionalist versus
I don't think I
new
think,
fans that we're trying to
I
get
think
recruit.
I think the traditionalists need to suck it up and just understand that baseball needs to change or it's going to die. So what I want to see is a smaller league do something with it, like a 3-2 count. Maybe if the MLB decides to do it with the minor leagues, that would be awesome. What about college? What about high school?
Yeah, Drew, we already own it. We already own independent leagues that we tried the robo ump on and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I say we put it there first, but see what the repercussions are.
Well, you
No,
know,
100%. This is not something that I would smack right in the MLB.
Yeah.
But I do want. I think this is something that could speed up and improve the game a whole lot.
well, the thing is too, with the extra inning runner on second, they tried it in the minor leagues first. So that's the thing. With all these rules, you got to try them and implement them because Yeah, we could think it's a great idea, and all of a sudden, like, I
Of course.
watch the actual product, and I'm like, this is horrible. You know? You just have to test it somewhere.
Do you think that will be the only thing that will, like, I feel like they're going to have to change other rules, too,
Yes.
in order to make it more exciting, but what are those other rules?
Let's see.
Like in order for a complete overhaul of baseball, like you were talking about, Drew, what is, like what needs to change?
I like my rule in extra innings, putting a runner on first. I think that the bench in baseball is not really the same as the bench in other sports, and I would like to see it become a little bit more useful, because I think that the bench in baseball, especially lately, you just don't know anyone on the bench, and there's no reason to know them. Like, I feel like there should be, like, spot, like, you have, like, on your bench in a basketball game, you might have, like, a guy who can come in and hit some, like, clutch threes or whatever. Or
Yeah, like a David Roberts kind of thing that we have no
a receiving back or whatever on your bench. Like, I feel like if there's some more, like, and I feel like a speedy guy for extra innings is one. And then I think if you bring down the count to 3-2, you're also just going to overall see, like, more excitement. I mean, you're not going to see, one thing I know Lucas and I have talked together a lot about is that it's how annoying it is to see players take the first strike. If you only have 2 strikes, you better not be taking the first strike every single time, or else you're 1 strike away from being out immediately. And I just think, like, I think there are little changes that you can make, and there are big changes that have to be made. And I mean, something's got to be done, though, because of baseball is you're just, like, not, you're lying to yourself if you say that baseball is, like, as good as it was 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 20 years ago or whatever. Like, I think it's in the worst spot it's been in maybe ever.
It's just not. Look at the numbers, Drew. It's just not. Anybody can just observe
And
the
it's
data.
not, like, I used to be very against that notion and whatnot, because honestly, I mean, the numbers aren't. See, the thing about baseball is that the numbers aren't really dropping too much when you look at them. They're not.
People are still the highest played.
They're not dropping a lot. They're
They're
still getting paid a lot. So when you look at those things on the outside, that's one thing. But the NFL and NBA, their numbers and their viewership are absolutely skyrocketing. And the MLB is just, like, kind of staying constant, like, maybe going up and down a little bit. But, like, that's not a trend that you want to continue.
Well, Drew, there's the numbers in that sense, and there's also the numbers in the sense that, like, in the last 2 years, 5 different teams have hit the most home runs ever in a single season of all time. Or, like, last year, we had 3 people hit more than 45 home runs, and I can't name one of them. It's like, these numbers are great and no one cares. That's the other part of the numbers. It's like, even when they're good, they're irrelevant.
Yeah. And I just think also, like, with the whole home run crap that's going on right now, I think that with 3-2 count or whatever, that would change that around, because guys can't just be swinging for the fences, because now you only have 2 chances instead of 3. And I think,
Well, exactly, Drew. That might bring back, like, the hit and run.
yeah,
Like, the stolen base.
or just contact
Just, like,
hitters.
Contact hitters, yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Like, where's Ichiro? Like,
Yeah, no, we just don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? If it's 3-2, that is just mathematically you're getting rid of 28% of the game. A 3.5-hour game all of a sudden gets cut down to, like, 245, 240, and you are, like, feeling a lot better about watching a baseball game.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just think it's more excitement too.
And it's not that, something
like
else.
whenever a guy gets out or whatever, I know I have time to get up and, like, go take a piss or something, because I know it's going to be at least 45 seconds to a minute until there's, like, a meaningful pitch coming up.
Drew, the greatest thing in high school as a kid was when you knew the Red Sox game started at 7 and that you could go out and hang out with your boys and come back at 11:30 and watch the last 3 innings. Like, it was like, because it's still going to be going on.
Yeah.
And it was like, nothing's happened up to this point, so I'm
Sox
good.
games, watching David Price pitch.
And it's just sad, too. Like, let's go through this list of players with 30-plus home runs, which should be a great accomplishment, and turn to John. And we're just going to name them, and let's see how many of them he knows.
Let's see how many of them we know.
Just start talking. Just start talking
just go
and
around.
saying them all. If I recognize any of them, I will tell you.
All right, John. Pete Alonso, Eugenio Suarez, Jorge Soler, Cody Bellinger, Mike Trout.
Yes.
Let's go. Christian Yelich, Ronald Acuna
You haven't heard
Jr.,
of Christian Yelich?
Nolan Arenado, Alex Bregman, Nelson Cruz.
Nelson Cruz is a freaking machine, by the way.
George
He probably
Springer.
had the most home runs.
Freddie
in 20
Freeman?
times.
How have you not heard of any of these
Kyle
people?
Schwarber. Gabriel Torres. Something Bell.
Josh
Bell.
Bell.
Bell's
Josh
a
Bell
beast.
is tank.
What do you mean something Bell? Josh.
Josh Bell.
Is that a tough one for you?
Schwallie doesn't play baseball anymore, so he doesn't have to focus on baseball.
I'm almost in the same boat as John here. It's a struggle to read the names.
Josh.
Josh Bell, Josh Donaldson. Who is this dude? F. Reyes on the Indians?
Oh, here we go. Is
From
Robinson
Neal.
Cano on there?
No, not a shot.
Probably not.
Actually, I mean, honestly, maybe.
He hasn't been a great coming back since he got
Bartolo Colon might be on there for all we know.
Max Kepler. JD Martinez. Olsen on the Athletics? Is it Edwin Escobar on the D-backs?
Alcides? No.
Edwin S.
Bryce Harper?
Yes, I know.
Let's go, that's two.
I know Bryce Harper. Okay.
Trey Mancini.
Nope.
Mike Moustakis.
The moose is loose, baby.
Moose.
Max Muncy. Trevor Story. Edwin Encarnacion.
I have heard that one.
Hey, that's three. Paul Goldschmidt. Anthony Rendon. Gary Sanchez. Miguel Sano.
This is
Oh my god,
embarrassing.
there's so many names.
Wait. Say that one?
Miguel Sano.
Oh, no.
Not Robinson. Cano.
Yeah.
Nope, not Robinson Cano. Is it Corey Santana on the Indians? I think
Carlos.
so.
Carlos.
Santana
I have
on the
heard that.
Indians.
Gotcha.
Jose Abreu. Xander Bogaerts. Cole Calhoun. Miguel Conforto. Austin Meadows.
Cole
Conforto?
Calhoun?
Cole Calhoun, the outfielder for the Angels.
Yeah, he hit 30 dingers last year.
Yeah,
Hunter
how
Renfroe?
tall is he?
He's like 6'5".
I have heard that name.
He is not 6'5".
He's a
Cole
beast.
Calhoun
Hunter
is
Renfroe?
not
You've heard
6'5".
Hunter Renfroe?
Yeah, I've heard of
He's
him.
a
He
beast.
looks.
Yeah.
go,
I
look
thought
at that.
he was a legit.
Hey, we got four.
5'10".
John knows Hunter Renfro.
Oh, that's good.
There's no way you know Hunter.
Yeah,
Renfroe.
that's
I've
what
just
I was
heard of
saying.
him.
No. You're thinking of the Clemson receiver.
Yeah.
Oh.
Renfroe.
Cole Calhoun's 5'10".
All right,
Oh,
run it
really? I
back.
thought he was a big ass. dude.
Run it back. We got
You're right.
three. Rafael Devers. Francisco Lindor.
Really?
Manny
We're trying to
Machado.
market the hell out of Francisco Lindor, and he doesn't even know. That sucks.
K. Marte.
Kettle Marte.
Cato Marte. Is it Edwin
Diamond.
Rosario?
Edwin Rosario.
Jose Altuve?
I have heard that name.
Let's.
Yeah. All right, we'll take
I
it.
was
We'll
thinking
take
about that one. Chris Bryant?
No.
it. Wow.
God, I don't even know who this is. M. Garvner?
Mitch
Garver?
Garver.
Mitch
I don't know.
Mitch
Oh, is he
Garver?
the catcher? I think he's the catcher.
Randall Gerchik? Uriel Gurriel? Is that it?
Yulesky.
Yulesky Gurriel?
Or is that him? Is
Yeah.
he? Is it Yuli or Yuri
It's
on the Astros?
It's like Ulieski Gurriel or
No,
something.
no, I know, but there's a Gurriel on whatchamacallit, on the Blue Jays, aren't there?
Alright,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
he knows neither of them.
Okay.
E. Jimenez on the White Sox.
Eloy
Boy,
Jimenez.
beast.
Very good.
R. Nunez?
On the Orioles, I don't know who
Who
that
is R. Nunez on the Orioles? Something
that?
called an R. Nunez hit 31 home runs. This is the problem with baseball. Paul DeJong. Not Jack DeJong. Paul DeJong.
All the song. Jack DeJong might have hit 30 as
Yeah.
well.
Jack DeJong probably is
He
on this
probably
list.
hit like 28 next year. He could probably do it in 60 games this year.
Rugne Odor
No.
Ned.
and D. Vogelback.
Vogelbach,
Daniel.
it's new.
Daniel
Yeah,
Vogelback.
Yeah.
Like,
So this kid here can name 4 of the top 58 30 home run hitters this year
I'm
that
disappointed.
he knows by name. That's horrible. This is why baseball's broke.
NFC South, I think the Saints getting Malcolm Jenkins and Emmanuel Sanders was really smart. Veteran smart players who come in fit very easily. Atlanta, I don't know how I feel. I'll watch the schedule. They feel 500 to me. I have them at 7-9.
So, as normal, you just heard Colin Cowherd's predictions, but not as normal. We got Saj reading the schedule today, so we're going to run through the Falcons schedule and give our own predictions. What do you got, Saj?
All right, week 1 at home against the Seahawks. John, what do you say?
That is a loss.
Drew?
That's a surprising win.
Loss.
All right, 0-1.
You're stupid.
We'll see.
Week 2 on the road against the Cowboys.
That is a loss.
That's a win.
That's a loss.
0-2.
Week 3 at home against the Bears.
That is a win.
That's a win.
That's a loss.
Really. 1-2.
All right, week 4 in Green Bay facing the Packers.
That's a loss.
That is a loss.
That's a loss.
1-3.
All right, come back home week 5 against the Panthers.
That is a win.
That's a win.
That's a win.
2-3.
Week 6, go to Minnesota to play the Vikings.
Going up north, that's a loss.
It's a loss.
Loss, but Kirk Cousins still bum.
2-4.
Week 7, back at home against the Lions.
That is a win.
That's a win.
That's a loss.
3-4.
Week 8 in Carolina facing the Panthers.
That is a loss.
Loss.
See ya.
3-5.
All right, week 9 at home versus the Broncos.
That is a loss.
Big loss.
Win.
3-6.
Week 10 buys. We start week 11 at the New Orleans Saints.
That is a loss.
It's a loss.
That's a loss.
3-7.
Week 12 at home against the Raiders.
That's a loss.
It's a win.
It's a win.
4-7.
Week 13 home against the Saints.
That is a win.
That is a win.
That's a loss.
5-7.
Week 14 in LA facing the Chargers.
That's a loss.
Loss.
See ya.
5-8.
Week 15 at home against Tom Brady and the Bucks.
That is a loss.
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 5-9.
Week 16 go to Kansas City to face Mahomes and the Chiefs.
That is another loss.
Yeah.
Loss.
I think Matt Ryan's going to play okay, but they're not winning.
Yeah, no way. No.
Mahomes is going to throw for approximately 69 touchdowns.
Yeah. Week 17 at the Bucks.
That is a loss.
That's a win.
That's a loss.
All right, final record 5-11. Sorry, Falcons.
On to New Orleans. Week 1 at home against the Bucks.
That's a win.
That's a win.
That's a win.
1-0. That's easily going to be the best week 1 game, by the way.
By far.
Yeah.
Week 2 in the Death Star in Las Vegas facing the Raiders.
That is a win.
That's a win.
That's a win.
2-0.
Week 3 at home against the Packers.
That's a win.
Win.
Sneaky loss.
3-0.
Week 4 at Detroit.
That is a win.
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 4-0.
Week 5 home against the Chargers.
That's a win.
Also a win.
Yep.
5-0.
Week 6 bye, so week 7 back at home against the Panthers.
That's a win.
Love you, Teddy B, but that's a win.
That's a dub.
6-0.
Week 8 in Chicago facing the Bears.
That's a win.
It's a loss.
That's a loss.
These guys are smoking crack.
Chicago's cold.
Chicago is cold, dude.
I'm not buying it. With Mitch.
Go to Chicago. It's cold.
Bad
Mitch
boy
Trub-
Drew does not do well in the
Mitch
cold.
Trubisky, dude, doesn't do well in football games.
And a little bit of a warmer climate week 9 in Tampa Bay at the Bucks.
That is a loss.
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 6-2.
Week 10 home against the 49ers.
That is a loss.
Big dub.
That's a win. I got you, John.
Wow.
7-2.
All right, week 11 at home against the Falcons.
That's a win.
It's a win.
That's a win.
8-2.
Week 12 at Denver Broncos.
That is a loss.
Loss.
Yep. That's a loss.
8-3.
Week 13 at Atlanta facing the Falcons.
That's a loss.
Loss.
That's a win.
8-4.
Week 14 at Philadelphia.
That's a win.
Loss.
That's a loss.
8-5.
It's also cold.
Week 15 home against the Chiefs.
That is a win.
Win.
Win. Another great
Wow.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
9-5.
That'll be
Saints
close.
honestly have a
That'll
tough
be good watch.
schedule.
Week 16 at the home against the Vikings.
Run it back.
Week 16 home against the Vikings.
That's a win.
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 Fuck you, Kirk.
10-5.
Week 16.
10-5.
Week 17 at the Panthers.
Ending the season on a win.
That's a win.
That is a win.
Final record 11-5.
Ballin' crazy with the hang time.